Man, it feels good to be back on the grind again. Let's catch up on the birds. Yes, sir. What is up, everybody? Lindy End Zone back in the building for the touchdown, taking the lead for the Eagles, one video at a time, and dropping buckets for my Dallas Mavericks. If you are new to the diversity of fandom that I bring to the table, I'd love to have you a part of the End Zone fam, and all you got to do to achieve that is hit the subscribe button. We finally broke the threshold of 190. I think currently 10 away right now for 200. It is ever so close. I would love to hit, personally, I would love to hit 200 subs before the first preseason game for the Eagles. That would send me off to a great start, going into the preseason games, heading into the regular season, where we have even bigger goals ahead of ourselves. So let's see if that can happen. Other than subscribing, other ways that you can help out is hitting the like button. It assists with the algorithm of YouTube, getting the content out there to fellow and more Bleeding Green Eagles fans and Mavs fans alike. And smash the notification bell so y'all know when I drop my next piece. All right, man. I do apologize. It's been a minute since I did a actual piece of video here. My wife had some company over as she arrived back here, and my channel space was taken over for those few days. I did a stream yesterday for NBA free agency and for my Dallas Mavs, but in terms of video creation, we're back today. Got some catching up to do on the Eagles. I have been watching in the background, seeing what's going on, throughout training camp. And, without boring people to death of talking about the same things here, we're just gonna brush up on some of the most notable and on the top topics per se. Obviously, we went into training camp here hoping for a battle between Andre Dillard and Jordan Mailata. We got one. It seems like no contest up to this point between the two of them. Jordan Mailata has had Dillard's number all of training camp so far, and it goes into today. And shout out to Jimmy Kempski for his notes. We're going over some of them here. And as he says, again, Jordan Mailata was with the first team offense. Another great day, and this being the first day of padded practice, this is even a better next step for guys to take in that regard. Says Jordan was regularly shutting down first team defensive ends. He was able to pancake Brandon Graham once. I mean, it's for Mailata to be that kind of project, and to see what he's becoming, outdueling a first round pick by the Eagles that Philly actually traded up to get. This is fantastic. And it's fantastic in the means of Jordan, but it's really not when you spent the the amount of revenue and that stock that you put into Andre Dillard, and he still seems to be struggling with the same things. He's just he just keeps letting guys get to him. He was victim of a bull rush once again. And, we've known this for a while now. That's one thing that Andre struggles with the most. He's very fluid in his motion with his feet and everything, like that dancing bear type of lineman, but he just doesn't have that bulk to deal with a bull rush on the outside. And, that's one area where Jordan Mailata absolutely shines. And once again, today, says Andre got bull rushed into Joe Flacco. There was contact made. It altered the quarterback's throw. But, bottom line, Jordan is outdueling Dillard right now, and Andre just continues to get bullied. This is not looking good. It's not looking good in terms of, what's going to happen to Andre Dillard. He might end up being a trade asset, and as much as you would love to keep him from a depth perspective, offensive linemen are always very valuable. This just isn't good at the end of the day. He's going to have to figure it out fast, or he's not going to be, one of the top considered assets on this football team, especially for the offensive line. And, with him being a first round pick, that's needless to say, it's not good. It's not good. And I think it's also very noted, to keep and watch on the defense. The defense continues to make strides. Zech McPherson is showing out. Josiah Scott is showing out. Steven Nelson is doing his thing. Avonte Maddox seems to be comfortable in the slot now. So it seems through the reporters that are there observing the practices. And then outside of the injuries to the issues with Ryan Kerrigan, and then we're not going to see Devontae Smith for a couple of weeks, like 2 to 3 weeks. As bad as it seems with the way injuries are going right now, one, we could be worse off to where this kind of stuff is happening in the regular season, and two, it's a nice direction to see that a lot of it's precautionary. How we've noticed with Brandon Brooks, and then they're going to take their time with Devontae. Obviously, there should be no rush to necessarily get him back on the field unless they're putting an emphasis on preseason games. And speaking of preseason games, August 12th, we face the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's 9 days away, and before you know it, the regular season is going to be here. So in terms of guys from a competition perspective and making the 53-man roster, between these preseason games and outside the preseason games, the final cuts are going to be coming up. So, some of these guys, their time is running thin, to make a difference. I mean, it's nice that we're seeing different names being noted. Michael Walker, that's one name. Arcega-Whiteside seems to be looking good in camp again, and let's not put a lot of stock into that one. He's looked good in camp the last couple of times, and it hasn't translated to the field, but that's not the here nor there. What's another name that's sticking out off the top of my head that I can't think of at the moment? I've noticed Adrian Killens has been working with the wide receivers. That's interesting to me. Boston Scott is looking good. So I mean, you're the running back situation, you're trying to figure that out as well. Who's gonna be on practice squad, special teams, et cetera, et cetera. Jordan Howard's looking very good. I guess shocking some people. How they thought he was done, and it's going to end up being Kerryon Johnson over him, and that doesn't seem to be the case. So, I mean, we're just going to have to end up seeing, especially with the padded practices being here, how this team is going to look from here on out. So far, so good in some areas, and the only cause for concern, it seems to be so far outside of injuries, is it always seems to pop up about Andre Dillard. So everything else seems to be going according to plan. Nick Sirianni is staying on that competitive mantra. He's getting in players' faces. He's actually working up close and personal with them. We've seen clips of him working with the tight ends, going through cone drills. Really connected to Jalen Hurts and the success of him, getting him to be a little more consistent in his throwing between the short and the deep passes. The collaboration between him and Brian Johnson, Kevin Patullo, Shane Steichen. It's all coming together pretty nicely for a first-year head coach. Alongside some of these guys, some of these guys on the coaching staff who are promoted to first-time positions and seasoned vets. Like it's a nice combination that we're seeing, and I can't wait to see the continued improvement of some of these players. Like especially guys in the rookie class. Zach McPherson shined a little bit today with nice, aggressive, in your face coverage. So I guess we're going to see from here on out up until the first preseason game how healthy these guys stay and who are going to be the next ones to stick out amongst the rest. Like Quez Watkins has been doing the last 2 days. So with that, that's going to conclude my quick recap. I'm going to get out of here. Be sure to tune in later. There's a stream scheduled on my channel. We're going to be revisiting NBA free agency, a little bit of day 2 action. AK from the Eagles Uncensored podcast is going to be joining me for that one. He's actually a Chicago Bulls fan, so he's kind of like me in the diversity of fandom. Share a little bit, some there. So be sure to check that one out if you guys are bored or want to hang out with us. Like I said, be sure to come on over. And with that said, I'm gonna get out of here. It's great to be on here again, making more videos for y'all and spending time with you guys on YouTube. So that'll do it for Lindy. I'll see y'all later. Fly Eagles Fly Bleed Green. MFFLs, go Mavs. Take care of yourselves and see you soon.